Good morning and welcome to another pre-market review session with the Market Trader. My name is Ray, the Market Trader, and before we begin, let's go ahead and take a look at our risk disclosure. Just want to remind everyone that the content that's being published and distributed by the Market Trader is to be treated as general information only. None of the information. Oh, sorry. Let's see. Oh, let's try this again, guys. All the content that's being published and distributed by the Market Trader. Oh, geez, lost my train. Yeah, all the content that's being published and distributed by the Market Trader and its affiliates is to be treated as general information only. None of the information provided by the company or contained herein is intended as investment advice and offer to buy, sell, recommend, endorse, sponsor any security, company, or fund. We all understand. We all understand that future trading does carry a fair amount of risk. It is not for an investor. An investor could potentially lose all or more of their investment capital. Only risk capital, money that can be lost without jeopardizing one's financial security or lifestyle, should be used for trading, and only those individuals with sufficient risk capital should consider trading. Again, nothing contained herein is a solicitation or an offer to buy, sell futures, options, or forex, and past performance is not necessarily indicative of future results. All right, now that we've gotten through the risk disclosure, guys, we're going to go ahead and take a look at the financial portal here. And specifically, we're going to take a look at the financial news and see what in the way of news could have some impact in the markets. Hey, Aslan. All right, so let's take a look. Okay, so let's go ahead and turn our attention to the markets or the news here. So we're going to stop share and share again. We're going to go ahead and take a look at this, and then we're just going to go ahead and review. We'll give you maybe a few minutes here. All right, let's. All right, here we are. Okay, so I guess the headline for today is PMI. We have PMI coming in at 945 today. I guess starting at 945 and then coming in again at 10 a.m. Okay. We have manufacturing PMI, we have manufacturing prices paid, and we have manufacturing employment index, all items that could have some potential in the markets. Again, 10 a.m. we have U.S. construction spending month over month also coming in at 10 a.m. So up until then, I guess that would be kind of the item that I would say that has the greatest impact of impacting the markets today. As we take a peek into the week here, we have the JOLTS coming in tomorrow at a similar time. We have our similar reports that we have here on Thursdays, the jobless employment, initial jobless claims, continued jobless claims, and then crude oil. And then we close out the week with unemployment, non-farm payroll, average earnings year over year. That could have an impact on the markets here. Okay, so let's go ahead now. Now we have a feel for the financial news. We're going to go ahead now and turn our attention to the markets. Okay, so we'll go ahead and do that. Let's move over to that now. Just going to bring up my financial portal here. Okay, here we go. stop share here, and we're going to go ahead and open up our financial, or not financial, but our trading platform. So we're going to go ahead and make sure it's reading gold here. Good morning, Alejandro. Good morning, Faye. Let's see here. All right. Let's see. Okay. All right. Hopefully everyone can see this. Yes, Alejandro. Thank you so much. All right. So looking at the daily chart. Okay. So again, you can see that we've had a series of bullish days here of late. Okay. Friday was a big day because we managed to get above an area or a level that that has been resistant up until now. Okay, we have a developing bullish not bullish candle here. We have a little bit of a selling wick here up at the highs here, which maybe causing a little bit of concern here, but nonetheless we are working our way above this island pattern or island top pattern that we had talked about, and otherwise remain in what appears to be in a very strong bullish move in this market. Moving down to the 4-hour chart. Looking at the 4-hour chart, okay, you can see that maybe a little bit of pause here. Okay, we have a series of candles here from Sunday into Monday. Okay, not really offering much in the way of too much of advancement or higher highs here. We had a nice candle here at the start of Monday's close. I mean, the start of Monday here. Okay, and we've been kind of bearish, a little bit bearish ever since. Now we do see that price is above our settlement price. It's kind of working its way to trying to stay above our VWAP as well as our 9 EMA, but cannot deny that there are maybe a little bit of selling pressure here at the moment here on the 4-hour chart. Okay, moving down to the 30-minute chart. Okay, let's take a look at that here. Okay, you can see again this Monday, right? The start of I guess today's trading actually. We have a fair number of sellers in this market, right? Asia as well as maybe a little bit of London here, and we are developing a rather, I would say, indecisive candle here. Okay, so let's go ahead and look at our fixed range volume profile. It's going to be interesting because Monday was kind of a holiday, so we're going to go ahead and do a little bit of a composite volume profile here. Okay, so we're going to go from let's say Monday. Okay, Friday. Sorry, from Friday all the way through. Okay, just to get a kind of a composite here. So all the way through Monday here. Okay, so Monday was kind of an abbreviated day, looks like. Okay. All right. So looking at this, you can see that we were above with the start of the Monday session. We were above value, but then we quickly turned and now kind of are working our way back inside value, okay, of the last couple of days. Okay, so I would say this 35, 37 level has been, I guess, shown signs of some support here. Okay, but have not been able to make much progress in the bullish direction without sellers kind of stepping in here. Okay, so it'll be interesting. It does appear that this is being challenged again, this 35-40 level. Assuming that we do get maybe this 35-40 level, it does indeed breach here. Maybe we open up maybe for a revisit down to this 35-18. Maybe fill in some of the volume inside this volume profile that we have here on the right hand side. Okay, and remain in some sort of range. But I do see that settlement price is down below here. Okay, would not be out of the realm of possibility here for price to come back and revisit the settlement price. Okay, it's kind of like a gap fill play. All right, gap fill play. we have our open above and our close was lower. So this would be a kind of a gap down. Would not be out of the realm of possibility here that maybe we retrace a bit from this open, maybe down as far as settlement. Okay. All right. Let's take a look at. I'd like to take a look at initial balance here a little bit across these various markets, just to get a sense of what each session was able to accomplish here. Okay. So here we are. This is the U.S. session. We're going to go ahead and change that over to the Asia session. Okay. And you can see here we had a nice breakdown. Okay. Nice breakdown of the initial balance range to the downside. We managed to get close to the 200% extension before we found some buyers, and that was aligned with this demand zone here. Okay, now we're back at it again. Okay, during London. All right, so let's take a look at what London's doing here. Okay, so London, we are in some sort of range, but looks like we are wanting to potentially challenge this 35.40 level again, 35.39. Yeah, 35.39 level. Okay, so again, if we do manage to close below, then it could open the door for us maybe to revisit. You can see these extensions. Okay, see these extension zones are falling in a range of where these demand zones are. So it would not be out of the realm of possibility for price to maybe potentially extend the London initial balance range and maybe revisit the settlement price down below here at 34.16 or 10, somewhere in that range. Okay, so let's go ahead. So Asia was very much bearish. London is kind of working a range. Okay, kind of maybe potentially looking at maybe the possibility of extending to the downside. We're going to go ahead and take a look at the U.S. session here. Okay, U.S. session. All right, so U.S. session again. We appear to be developing some sort of range as well. So I'm going to be keen in watching this 35.40 level, because I see that this 35.40 level is a level, some level of importance. If we do break below and maybe reject 35.40 on the way down, this could open up the door to maybe get as low as 35.16. Or we remain in some sort of range. That's certainly another possibility here, that 35.40 holds and we remain in some sort of range here. Okay, from say from the highs, maybe back to the highs of Monday. Okay, all right. So I would say headed into the session, I would say probably looking a little bit more, I guess, range. Okay, range in this market, potentially maybe bearish. I think the fact that we made it, so this might be a little bit of a repair day. We made some new highs here, so we might come back and revisit the same area that we broke above here, just to kind of complete. Again, my focus right now is this volume profile. This volume profile, is quite lacking a lot of volume here. So we may come down here and then just kind of hang out at this area, to complete the distribution here of this volume profile. All right, so that's kind of what I have for the gold. We'll go ahead now and turn our attention to the crude oil market. Okay, we'll start again, similar vein. We'll start with the daily chart. Okay, daily chart really not giving us much. Again, what we already have known for some time now, a market that's been somewhat bearish. Okay, now we did make an attempt here on this bar here to make a new high, but that has been, at least for the moment, sellers have stepped in. Right now, if we do manage to close above 64.80, that could open up the door here. We see that this area was a prior area of support around 65. Okay, 65 does appear to be a level of importance here. So if we do manage to close above 65, that could open up the door for maybe future prices to head higher. But I still feel that we are in some sort of bearish structure in this market. I don't think we're out of the woods yet on the bearish direction in this market. All right, let's go ahead now and move on to the 4-hour chart. Looking at the 4-hour chart, we're going to go ahead and turn off initial balance here for a moment and take a look and see what kind of price action we're getting of late here in this market. So you can see here that we did manage to close above some structure here, only to be met with sellers. Right now, we're developing a rather strong bearish engulfing candle, an otherwise market that's been bearish. Okay. So we managed to get above the 66 level. We're developing a bearish engulfing. Again, if I'm going to entertain something in the bearish direction, well, I need to see price break below this channel to the downside. If I get that channel and rejection, then I would say that we have an opportunity here, maybe continuing heading lower in this market. Okay, moving into the 30-minute chart. Looking at the 30-minute chart, we're going to go ahead and kind of take a look at, we're going to remove this channel here for a moment. We're going to kind of take a look and see what the fixed range volume profile is telling us, but it does appear that we have a fair number of sellers in this market. We're going to go ahead and open up the fixed range volume profile here from, again, we're going to make this more of a composite kind of a composite volume profile. Okay, just given the holiday, that's usually the best. Okay, so we'll take this all the way to our abbreviated day, okay, of trading here. Okay, so there it is. We're right up against value area high and reacting away from it. Okay, so so we've basically all the progress that has been made during Monday's trading has been swallowed up by overnight trading. Okay, now we've reached the value area high and showing maybe some signs that this area is an area that's being protected. This area is maybe causing some buyers to kind of step into this market, but we appear to be in a very strong bearish direction here. All right, let's go ahead and open up our fixed range volume profile. Our initial balance. Sorry, we'll go ahead and open up the initial balance for Asia here and get a sense for what Asia was able to do with this market. Well, Asia was bullish. We got a nice move to the upside, a little bit of a retracement back to the high of initial balance as we approach London, and off to the races we go, right up to the upside. Okay, London painted a different story. London is somewhat bearish. Okay, you could see that Asia was bullish, London bearish. We got a nice extension, which would have been very difficult to be a part of. Move that extended the range here to the downside. Just want to make double confirm. I am looking at London. Yeah. Okay. So here's our range. We initially got to the upside. Okay, kind of followed along with the Asia market, and then somewhere at some point during the got to the 66 level, psychological level, and we reversed. Now we're up against value area high, showing some signs that maybe we are going to reverse here. But I'm more of the view that I'm going to be looking for an area, maybe 65, that could offer me maybe a location where I could participate, maybe in a downside trade, right? 65 is our initial balance, slightly above initial balance low, and also looking at our VWAPs here. Okay, so that's kind of what I'm looking at right now on the let's open up the initial balance range for the current session here. Okay, and we'll make this here. Okay, so we had a pretty strong move, bullish move here. We'll see how this candle closes here in the next 15 minutes or so. But we have a bullish candle that's developing up against value. Again, I'm going to be looking maybe for an opportunity here to, offer me an opportunity for a continuation move. If I do a little bit of Fibonacci analysis here, this 50% range is coming in at 65.28. 65.50 seems like a reasonable area to participate in, maybe a continuation move here to the downside. Okay, that's kind of what I'm looking at in the crude. Okay, continued maybe some bearish opportunity here. Okay, all right, let's go ahead and move into the equities. We're gonna we'll start off with the daily. Okay, market seems to be in some sort of bearish move at the moment. We're going to go ahead and remove some of our drawings here. Okay, so we created a little bit of a resistance zone here up above, right here around 23. Let's say 23.76. Okay, create a little bit of a resistance above us here. Okay, we had a move down. We retraced back to a level. Sellers continue to step into this market, and we have the second day in a row here of some bearish price action here. Okay, right. So bearish kind of price action. All right. So let's take a look at the 4-hour chart and see what we can glean from the 4-hour. We're going to go ahead and turn off initial balance. Okay. Again, we can see kind of looks similar a little bit to, right, 400% extension. It's possible. I don't know. I might need to add that to my chart if it happens often enough. But you can see that we seem to be in some sort of structure here to the downside, right? We got a nice move to the downside. We retraced back to this resistance area, and now it appears that we are maybe potentially in another leg lower. We are at an area here where it could be supportive, has been supportive in the past. This 23,120, 127 level, but it seems that the market is intent on coming back and retesting possibly this 22,840 level. Otherwise, we continue to remain in some sort of range. All right, let's go ahead and take a look at the 30-minute chart. Looking at the 30-minute chart, again, you can get more visibility as to this kind of bearish structure that we're in at the moment. You can see that price is below our VWAP, below our 9 EMA. We have kind of a settlement price up above here, okay? Would not be out of the realm of possibility here if we get some sort of gap fill, right? Potential, right? Maybe there is a little bit of a retracement that we make up here, right? Before we continue to the downside in this market, right? We have settlement price above us, and not out of the realm of possibility here for us maybe to fill some of this gap and before we continue to the downside. Otherwise, we maybe fill some percentage of this gap and then continue to the downside. Okay. Let's go ahead and open up our, let's say, fixed range volume profile. Let's get a sense of where price is in relation to Friday's price action here. So we'll drag this across to the close of Monday here, or close of Monday, right about there. Okay, so you can see that we're well below value, right? Well below our volume profile here. So fair number of folks who are bearish on this market at the moment. Okay, so what to do? Well, our focus should be in areas where we can manage our risk. You know, this 23,300 level does look like a maybe appetizing level. It was a supportive level in the past. Could offer us maybe another location for maybe a continuation trade to the downside. We're going to take a quick peek at initial balance here across all the various markets. And we're going to go ahead and start off with Tokyo. Tokyo, very much bearish, right? As we got closer to, actually more as we got closer to London here, right? So Tokyo was pretty neutral. London has really taken this market to the downside, right? As Aslan maybe down to the 400% extension here, okay? So let's take a look at London here. Okay, so yeah, nice extension to the 100% extension. Probably more like 100% to 400% in Asia. Still a ways to go, I would say, in London to reach even the 200% extension. Okay, but my view right now is to probably look for areas where I can maybe participate in this market above me. Okay, so a little bit of strength rather than participating at the lows, because I think there's a possibility, okay, that we could potentially get a little bit of a rally here in the open, and that maybe we can get maybe an opportunity for a downside trade later in the session. Okay, so as I head into today's session, I would say I'm looking for opportunities to participate in this market to the downside. I would say that this 23,260 level, right, 23,260 level is an area that I would be interested in, rather than participating at the lows of the market. I'm really not interested in necessarily participating in a short trade at the lows. I need some sort of retracement back to some sort of level here so I can manage my risk here better. Okay. All right. Let's go ahead now and take a look at the ES as we kind of wind down our session here with today. We'll take a look at the EAS here. The ES also looking rather bearish. We have a couple of candles here. Again, this is kind of at the bottom end of this triangle pattern that we've been discussing of late. But here we are, right at the edge of this pattern. Okay. Now, the question is going to become: are we going to continue in this consolidation range, or is this going to be the day where we break below and accelerate lower? Okay. This is kind of the third attempt at the bottom end of this consolidation pattern. All right, looking at the 4-hour chart. Okay, 4-hour chart again, you can see that we have a fair number of folks in the market that are bearish. Okay, right? We have a nice little pattern here that's kind of taking place, but we have to understand that we still remain in this consolidation pattern, right? We've been down this path before, right? Everybody thinking that it's going to go down to the bottom and only to find buyers, right? So we're going to be watching this area here, this 6,400 level. I think is a relatively important level. Certainly the 6380, 81 level, also another area where we could potentially find some buyers. I think we've retraced quite a bit to find those buyers. So if the buyers are relatively weak, okay. Again, the 6440 level does appear to be a level of interest for me, maybe for a continuation move if we are going to go into some sort of sustained move to the downside. Possibly. I mean, again, they're both bearish right now. Faye, we're both bearish, right? So, we have, again, into Tuesday's session here, right? London is quite bearish in this market, right? We see that London is quite bearish. We see that price is below our 9 EMA. And we do see that the VWAP is below. So I'm not really seeing, again, I didn't really notice the consolidation pattern, but I believe that we're probably in a similar kind of consolidation pattern, maybe some sort of triangle pattern in the NASDAQ as well. So I wouldn't call. I would say they're probably both bearish. Okay. All right. Let's take a look at initial balance. Here's London. Okay. So we've already reached the almost 100% extension. We still have maybe if ways maybe to go here down to 6340. Okay. That could offer us maybe a continuation move to the downside. Okay. So again, similar kind of thing, guys. So I'm going to be looking for maybe an opportunity here around 6430. Maybe would be kind of a logical place for a continuation move to the downside around this level. Anywhere along VWAP, I think would also offer us some level of opportunity to the downside. So similar to the NASDAQ, I would say right now we are in an area where we could get some sort of response from buyers. Okay, no doubt we could maybe rally here a bit, but I'm kind of looking at this as maybe a potential opportunity for us maybe to participate to the downside. And if that's the case, then I'm going to be looking at some of these levels here to offer me a location where I can manage my risk. Okay. All right. Let's go ahead now and take a look at the Dow here as we kind of wind down the session. Everything seems to be down on the markets here at the moment. All right. We have a very strong developing bearish engulfing candle here on the Dow. Okay. Now again, we are still technically inside a bullish channel, right? We haven't really broken below it, right? So while we are developing a bearish engulfing candle, we are in a bullish channel. Okay, bearish candle, bullish channel. Now, assuming that if we do indeed break below, okay, we need to break below 45,000 to really make this an interesting move. Okay. Right now, we're still in this bullish channel. All right, let's take a look at the 4-hour here. Let's turn off initial balance here. So again, turn off the drawings here for a moment. Okay, so again, we are developing and starting to break some structure here to the downside. We have this level below us here around 45,000 that could be supportive to price. We've come into an area here where it's initially found some buyers here. So, but nonetheless, there seems to be a fair amount of interest in taking this market lower. Okay. If I open up initial balance here, you can see that this is the open this up for the London session. This doesn't see London. I'm looking at the 4-hour. That's why. Let's look at the London 30-minute. Yeah. So London. Yeah, potentially. I mean, it could potentially trap traders. If again, I guess if you are maybe not managing risk correctly, I would say Certainly, there's a potential of getting trapped here to the downside. Seeing, I think there's probably a lot of interest in taking these markets lower. So I could see there's a possibility of getting trapped here short. Okay. But I would say that if you do manage, and wait for proper locations, I think the market has identified some locations for us to be bearish. Is just we need to be patient and market to get to a particular location before, in order to potentially make that happen. Okay. All right. So London is below the market. So again, bearish. We have Tokyo also looking bearish, all to the downside. So fair number of bears in this market. We're going to go ahead and open up fixed range volume profile for the start of Friday here. Let's see if I can locate it right about here. But it should not be any surprise here if we find ourselves below the market here as well. So yeah, so every indicator that we have right now, it indicates to us that we are, quite too bearish across all, volume profile and across all the sessions here. All right, so let's take one last peek here, guys, across all the markets. We'll take a look at the gold. The gold seems to be in some sort of range. We're going to go ahead and open up the initial balance range for the regular session. Okay, so we are in some sort of range in this market. We managed to get back inside value. We are in an area of support. A little bit of indecision in this area, to be honest. Would I honestly expect? Would be expecting a little bit more of a rally in this market, given the sort of the downside kind of structure that we're in the equities. Yet we are in some sort of consolidation range. Looking even more bearish than necessarily bullish here, right? So market, I would say, is looking to me a little bit more on neutral, I would say, right now. So I'm going to be waiting for some information from the market to kind of dictate to me which direction they want to take this market. Crude oil has been a kind of a bearish market of late. Looks like we did find an area where we have maybe found maybe some buyers here. We are establishing a range here, a bullish kind of candle here. We'll have to see exactly how this candle closes and whether maybe this 65.20, 65.50 could potentially offer us maybe, again, another swing here to the downside. Okay. I'm kind of interested in those levels for maybe a continuation trade to the downside. And then across all the equities right now, guys. So again, as I mentioned, certainly the possibility of trapping some buyers here, or some sellers, I should say. But the market does appear to be quite weak, across the board. I don't see anything in the way of strength in this market. And then I'm looking to the left here to see where this can go. And there's a fair amount of distance here that we still have to hoe before we maybe potentially find some buyers here. Okay. So market just opened. It'll be interesting to see if we do indeed continue to extend the range. Again, I'm going to be patient and wait for opportunities where I get some sort of pullback, where I can actually participate in this market, maybe to the downside, but also manage my risk. Okay. All across the board, right? Everything seems to be bearish, bearish across NASDAQ, bearish across ES and YM. Okay. Everything a little bit of a positive sign here in the Dow. Okay. Everything else, both ES and NASDAQ, looking bearish. Relatively large initial balance range for crude oil. So that might be something to take into consideration on any sort of extension move. Just kind of seeing if there's any questions. Neutral to range, CL kind of bearish. I would say, across the board, I would say I would be relatively bearish across all the equity markets. Again, I would be careful with it shorting here at the bottom. Okay. If I'm going to be shorting, I'd like to be at an area here where I can manage my risk, right? So, somewhere above, somewhere like 45,300 would be good. 45,000, say 500 level would be another level here to participate. Okay. So that's kind of what I have for you today, guys. So apologize for maybe a little bit of delay today. Let's say, I guess, post-holiday kind of rest, I guess. And but in any case, guys, we'll go ahead and close this session. If you have not hit the like and subscribe, please do so. Please continue to encourage me to provide these sessions for you. Okay. And with that, we'll close this session as we close other sessions. Trade well, trade safe, trade like a pro, be a market trader. Again, hit the like, hit the subscribe, make a comment or two if you're inclined to do so, and continue to support me, and also thank your continued support for this portal. Okay. All right, guys, have an excellent day trading, and we'll talk again soon.